Hello, welcome to the Trade Game channel. This is Daniel. It's February 1st, and we are going to talk about trading cryptocurrency. Specifically, we are going to talk about trading BNB. Um, BNB is a pretty big cap cryptocurrency. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe. You're more than welcome, and please leave a comment so that we can chat with you and discuss these things. Um, the overlay you have here, you see this really big position box, um, is mine. I run cryptocurrency grid bots, and the way I usually lay these out, the green area is the zone in which my grid bot is trading, and the red area extends down to where my bot will get liquidated, if it gets liquidated. So it's not a normal long position in the usual way. Not that we don't do those as well, but just in case that's confusing to anybody. All right, so I'm going to do an individual video for BNB because trying to do all of these all in one video makes the video really long and less interesting, I think. So let's talk about what I think is going on with BNB. Talking about TA, chart analysis, technical analysis. My way of doing this might be a little more simplistic than some other people, but we'll see how it goes. The whole idea of doing these videos is to do kind of a blog sort of thing, keep me nice and accountable with my own trading. It helps me organize my thoughts and keep track of what's going on. So, since February, March of last year, BNB has been doing rather well. We had a big pump in the market around the December of 23 into the new year of 2024. And since then, when Bitcoin was doing its consolidation thing, kind of like everybody else, the market kind of hit its low in August, and then had a much more positive October. And November in particular was very positive for the cryptocurrency market because we had election results that were very pro cryptocurrency here at the U.S. and hopefully some of the regulations are going to be relaxed. I would like it to allow me to expand my operations onto some of these exchanges that currently are not accessible to U.S. citizens. But so from my reckoning, it looks like we've had a lows here and here, and we've set a high recently with BNB right at around $792. And so I've sort of speculated that we're trading in a bit of a channel on the higher time frame for BNB. Or you could certainly look at it in other ways. But this is just sort of the framework that I'm kind of working off of on the daily chart. Although I may have set this up on the weekly. I don't really recall how I set up the chart. I may have set it up on the weekly candles. Anyhow, so following this bullish movement, this period of excitement in November, we had a big peak here, December 4th, it looks like. Following that big impulse movement and price action, we've had, it looks like a wedge forming to me. I would have started my bot here, where this position starts on this down candle. I like to try to start my bots when they're going long, as if I was starting a swing long, so that you can hopefully have the bot kind of capturing some of that bullish momentum and moving away from its liquidation value at the beginning instead of towards it. Just a kind of a general good practice. Although it's not the end of the world if you're going to run a bot in it and you don't bother to do that, but I usually try. So we seem to be setting higher lows and lower highs as time goes on, and that's how wedges form. Bitcoin has had some bearish movement recently, and that tends to affect other currencies in the cryptocurrency space. Oh, snap! I completely forgot that I had done a paper trade here. Well, we can talk about that in a minute. So, it looks to me like we are coming down to challenge the bottom of this wedge pattern for BNB. It's not the only currency that we're following that looks to be challenging and may find support soon from its wedge pattern. But it did break to the downside, and so we will kind of see what might happen there. It looks like we broke the downside, came up a little bit, and now we're going back down, continuing that motion after satisfying a little bit of this inefficiency in the market here. Um, that being said, there would still be a value gap from here down to here that has not been satisfied yet. So let's kind of see what's going on. I am bullish on BNB. I think it's going to do just fine over the next coming year. I'm going long on it with my bot. And so if this does find support at this lower line, it might not find support. It may break to the downside and range down here for a little while. We'll have to see. There's an area of support kind of around $540, which is probably why I set my grid down there. But yeah, we'll kind of have to see how that goes. I will sometimes paper trade when I'm doing chart analysis, and so I will make calls just kind of for fun to see if they work out or not. And it looks like apparently I had done this the other day when I was looking at the hourly chart. So I had speculatively said that if the price gets down below this point, then I would enter a short position, paper trading short position, but still position nonetheless. If I can get my cursor to select that trade, well, gosh. Well, if I can't, I can't. No big deal, really. But so it looks like, while I can't get my computer to select this trade box, it does look like it did eventually come down and hit where I would have set a trigger price to set a sell order. So to be clear, when I set this box up, what I would have done was I would have put a trigger, set a trigger at $672. And if that trigger was hit, then I would have it place an order for that same price, $672. So I was saying, speculatively to myself, looking at this, for that if it got down much below here, it would probably continue to go down, and then I probably kind of gave it a little bit of wiggle room, possibly using as a guide previous levels of support, although I can't say exactly how I picked this level. I'd have to go back and I don't know if I recorded myself when I was doing this or not. But in any event, I apparently set this pretty well because the price didn't actually touch this level. So this would not have gone off, and then because if my order had triggered here, then it would have stop lossed out, and the trade would have not worked out. But as it was, this came down, and it looks like it went past my trigger value here. Since the last time I looked at it, anyway, and would have come down, and right here would have hit its take profit value. On this down candle right there. So if you had set your take profit right there, that would have been a successful short. My reckoning, I suppose, my thinking being that if it was going to go downwards, if we were going to have a bearish movement, it would come down and challenge the support line right here. And so I was saying, well, enter here and then take profit there before it gets to the support line. Just go ahead and take profit, get out of the trade. That way, if it does find support down here, then don't worry about it. Now, you can also, of course, you don't have to take profit right necessarily here in this level. You could also have held on to the trade and just waited to see what it did. And you could then be watching it and wait to see if it finds support at this level or not. This is just how I happened to set up this trading box the other day. And I would be extending it a little bit further this way to cover the area that I actually might have traded in, but for some reason TradingView is not wanting to let me click on it, probably because it's a smaller trade that's currently covered by this really big one. Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. Well, how much does it matter? Yeah. Oh. No. Well, anyway, so this is my thinking for BNB right now. I think that we're going to come down and we're going to challenge the support level down here. We may find support, we may not. I do not know. But in the event that it does find support, there's a good chance, reasonably good chance, that it'll come back up to challenge this line of resistance here. So if that is the case, then since we had a good fun time doing this speculative short here, let's set up a long. This is also going to be a paper trade. And let's say if it gets above this high right here, if it gets much above it anyway, then we'll enter a long with stop loss below, a little bit below this lower low right here. And typically I get a little breathing room. And then we can, and yeah, apologize for the tapping noises. I am using a touchscreen computer here, and so I'm going to do that. Now, can we get up to, yeah, we can get up to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. Not without too much effort here. And so we could set our take profit. Where should we set our take profit? I had just done our take profit previously, kind of right here with this high, which gives us a little more than a 1.5 risk to reward ratio. If we drop it down a little bit to 1.5, which is sort of more or less the standard, that would make us a bit of a safer trade in the sense that, well, no, you know, we would at least. It could come up, and if you set your take profit a little bit lower than right here, this might come up and it might not actually reach this higher trend line. It might instead set kind of a lower high right here, or an equal high to this previous one. And if you set your take profit right here, as I have with 1.5, which I think I would probably suggest at around $686, then presumably what you will be doing is, if it gets up over that level, you'll be setting a stop loss at $686. And so if it doesn't then continue upwards and goes down, then you will take profit and close your position at $686. So you can still stay in the position if the price keeps going up. But if it goes back down, then you would take profit and secure no less than whatever profit you would have at 686, which is what I would suggest. That's a little more conservative. And this way, even if it comes up and sets an equal high or a slightly lower high, you should still be able to get out of the trade having met your take profit. So, that is what I'm going to suggest being a possible trade next for ADA, or no, not ADA, excuse me, BNB, ADA, BNB. Here we go. And we will kind of see how or if that plays out over the next couple of days, and maybe I'll do a video for that as well. So again, when setting these orders, if you're going to do this sort of thing, do remember you need to place a trigger at this level, and then place the buy order, in this case the long order, to be at that same price level. Don't just set a limit order for this entry point, because if you do, it'll get filled immediately. So this is what I'm proposing here, if you want to look at it. Entry price, take profit level, and stop loss level for BNB, if you would like to take that trade. But if you don't, that's fine. I'm just doing it for fun, which is a good way, I think, to approach this, and just kind of doing it as a game. That's why when we set up the Trade Game channel, we called it the Trade Game, because we're trying to sort of have fun with this, but also seriously try to learn how to trade. And so this, this is sort of my update for BNB for February 1st. Thank you for watching, listening. Please do click the like button and subscribe. It helps us a lot. Leave a comment down below. That is all I've got for you. Thank you for joining us. God be with you. Please be good to one another, and I will talk to you later.